Welcome to the presentation on how to make our PowerPoints for the OpenStax textbook ADA compliant. This presentation is being made from my office computer, which has Office 2016 on it. So the directions I'm giving you here are unique to that. We also have Office 365 version 2019 available to us to download to our personal computers. Some things are a little bit easier to do in that, but I know not everybody wants to have that version on their computer nor want to be necessarily using their personal laptop to do this work. I find it easier to use the computer here in the office because I have two screens, but I did notice there's a lot of big differences between the two. Primarily it's here, like when you have an image you want to edit. Here in 16 you have to go to Format Picture. In 2019, when you right click on the image, you'll have the option to edit alt text. So there are advantages to both options. You can also check and see if your IT person on your campus can upgrade your office computer to have Office 2019. So we click here on Format with the 2016 version. We then have to click on Size and Properties, probably look like this. Click on alternate text. You don't have to have a title, but you do have to have a description. In the 2019, you'll notice the title option is no longer listed there because that is not required for images anymore. There are several issues at play here. One is that this is built upon a master template that has other information on it. So even if you were to delete this image or even right click on it and get the alternate text in there, it still will mark it as wrong because of that information that's in the master template for the physics course that OpenStax has. So this is how I've chosen to correct it. It seems to be the quickest and easiest option to me. So I just go here between slide 1 and slide 2, and we'll click here on New Slide and go with this one. Please do not use the title slide because it'll create problems. So you'll do here, I'm not going to add a picture. I don't think it adds anything to it. We're going to change this to psychology. And then you can either write this yourself or copy and paste it into this text box. I typically like putting it up here. I prefer for us all to be the same. And then click here on slide 1 and press your delete key. That will solve that problem. Next is the color. This is a color of green that Ally says is not ADA compliant. It's not got enough contrast between the white background and this light green. So to fix this, we need to triple click here, and you will probably have this pop-up window click up, which you can then click on the arrow pointing down to choose the color you need, or you can do the same with this arrow up here. Now I already have dark green in my choice because I've done that before, but it's not showing. It's here by default because I've already been working on some other slides, but to make it easier for you to know how to do it, you'll notice it's not in the standard colors, the dark green. You have this one that's olive green, and you have the one right above it that again is an olive green, and those would not be compliant. So what you're going to do is click here on More Colors, and again you can get to it from this dialog box as well, and it'll either be on Custom or Standard depending on what you've ever used before. If it's here, you can change your RBG codes to 0, 128, and 0. Or you can click here on Standard. In your octagon on this point there's the black. A 1 to the right is the dark green that we need. If you click on Custom now, you'll see it's 0, 128, and 0. Either way works. It doesn't really matter. And you click on OK. So now you've got your dark green option. When you go to your next slide, you will want to delete these OpenStax logos because we're not needed. And then we go here. I'm trying to find one that's got some bulleted lists. So here you go. Here's one with bulleted list. Again, I can delete this. I always just typically start at the top, and because I just used the dark green, it's locked in place. And I can fix all of these screens to that dark green. The problem runs here, they did not use the master slide options, and they overrode the master settings. This green is the wrong shade of green on the bullets. So you have to select each bullet list separately that has the green with it. Come here where you have the bullet option. If it's a numbered list, it'll be this one will be depressed. So either way, you click here, or if you're doing a number list, it would be this one highlighted. You would click on this arrow and go to bullets and numbering. Because I'm on the bullet list, I have to use this one. Click on the arrow pointing down, bullets and numbering, and then you have to change your color. Click on the arrow pointing down. Again, you may or may not see dark green in your recently used. It depends on how often you've used it before you get to one of these slides. If you don't see it, then you will just simply, again, click on more colors. And as I mentioned before, you can change it to 0, 128, and 0, and click on OK. Then click here. Now the next time, you should be able to come here and go to bullets and numberings and click here and select recently used. Now, it may not show up. Initially, it took me through the first slide before it held this in the recent colors on my office computer. I'm not sure what your experience will be because everybody's computer is set up different. The other thing you need to do is take care of the properties. So when you're done or whenever you're stopping, the first time you save it, click on Save As and locate where you're going to save your work. Authors don't really matter. You can add your name if you want to. We do need a tag here, so I'm just doing Psych 1101. And then here for the title, just because I'm OCD, I'm changing it from physics to OpenStax. Obviously, I'm not worried about it being consistent here, but you got to have something here just for ADA compliance. OpenStax, Psychology, PowerPoints. I don't really care what you put there as long as there's something there, then we're good. And then you can save. We don't want to upload this until we know it's 100% ADA compliant. The thing I've run into is when I get all this done, sometimes some of these changes on these bulleted lists don't take. So what you need to do is go to your sandbox in Blackboard and create a folder for you to do your stuff, upload it in there. Hopefully Ally will be working on the day you upload it. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not working fast. And then get your originality score. We should be able to get it to 100% as long as we don't have any of these problems. I've been successful with 2 presentations so far, having them 100% compliant. So it took me a couple of times of uploading because even though I think I've got these done, sometimes it doesn't take like I think it does. And so I have to go back and redo them, or sometimes I've overlooked some of the bulleted lists. So please try your best to get it 100% compliant before uploading it to our team's site. Speaking of the team site, once you're done, you'll want to load Teams if you don't have it running in the background already. Make sure you click on Cengage Open Now, OER, and then click on Files. From here, you will want to do the ADA compliant PowerPoints, and you will want to upload it. You'll see I've already uploaded 6. So you'll just click here on Upload, locate where you have your OpenStax PowerPoints updated. Get the OpenStax PowerPoint and click on Open, and it will upload for us. And then that way we have a running checklist of which ones are already done.